Hello, beautiful ether. Finally, some rain. Oops. Come in here. I think we're in between two bands right now. And let's see the little tree rehab. The rehab of trees. Let me try this real quick. Finally getting around to making some cording. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I should grab the shells. I haven't sorted the last batch of shells. Hope everyone's having a perfect day. Really stoked to finally be getting rain. And I really wanted to take a look at everything and make sure that the seed trays are still there. But it looks a little bit like lightning. I definitely hear thunder. So I'm just gonna kind of hang out here and work on this cording. It's a little tedious and it takes some time. I like doing a standing up. I figured and this started on another stream. Just as a quick example to show how it's simple. I don't know if you can really see. If you're on Instagram, my page is public, so I'll post a picture of it. Or I gotta start using the Discord, because it seems like a lot of people do use that. I don't know what to post on it, and stuff like that. I gotta remember that exists. But if anybody is on Discord, I have that as well. And God bless technology. Definitely trying to put it to full use. And such a valuable tool. And especially, like, I hate to sound like a broken record, but KYNTO's going to make it really simple to communicate the way that I want to, at least, and get some study groups together for anything. Like, it's been a nice rainy day for the last, hour. It's a weird way to say it. It's been raining for the last hour. Perfect Florida rain, got some thunder. And, so I watched a few documentaries, and it's always fun to pick a random subject and just documentary. And today's subject was embroidery, because I really have a ton of clothes that is in perfect condition, excluding the fact that there's some holes, there are some random stains. Florida swamp life is not kind to modern day clothing because it's not made to last to begin with. So I have a nice healthy bag full, and I'm going to reverse tie-dye some of it and embroider most of it, because embroidery, it said in one of the documentaries, which is something I never really thought of, because if you look up the oldest surviving pieces of embroidery, it'll blow your minds. And it was such a accessible way to tell your story, or keep stories alive. Not everyone could carve in stone, and it's very tactile. Like, I would have a far better and easier time trying to embroider a face than trying to use like oil paint. Or I haven't given oil paint another go for a long time, only because I just didn't know much about colors, and still really focused on that. I watch a lot of color stuff as often as I remember to watch stuff about colors. Color theory is just fascinating, and it's everywhere, and even in nature. And one thing I've always struggled with is choosing colors, what colors go good together, and just like what color to blend, or in what color to make shadows, highlights, that kind of thing. And I really never thought about it in this sense. It was even in nature, like with flowers, you'll see it like a true rainbow. If it's like a yellow and red flower, like there's orange in between. And for some reason that like unlocked some understanding. It's really nice. And kind of a drought, honestly. Last year it went months without rain. And you would see rain, and my mom in the town over, you'd be like, I hope it's raining near you, but no, it'll never, it like never crossed the street. It was wild. And I'm really hoping that doesn't happen this year, but right now I'm focused mostly on natives and things for chop and drop, so that way there's an endless supply of not ground cover, but ground food and like soil cover, topsoil cover. Because when mulch or hay, whatever can come across out here, breaks down, really, really moist, beautiful topsoil and like full of life. But when it breaks down, it's very windy and it blows it away as soon as like the larger pieces are, so I call them bald spots in the, oh loopy. Very nice. This is a piece of cardboard, and I just made like kind of a compass for better track, because there's all kinds of, it's essentially small scale Japanese rope making, and there's all kinds of different knots and different string amounts, but you can make flat, wide braids, round ones. This one has kind of like a round spiral going on. I must have dropped it in something. Gnarly. But really useful little tip that you could do with anything. I've used yarn. You could even use like really thin rope and turn that into really thick rope with a bigger piece of cardboard. That's that K word, that's Kimahima. It gains an insane amount of popularity, which was brilliant because I've never seen those Kimahima boards before, and I still don't have one, but they were everywhere in stores. It's like, I like when things gain momentum because then it's easier to access the supplies for it. It's pretty slow, but it's just this thin embroidery floss, and which comes in huge packages for very affordable prices, and you can get it just about everywhere. And it turns it into a thick cord. I just need to move a little bit. I think we're good. I'm a little bit less wet insulated. I know it just, it's a little bit freer out here for you, because there's not a lot of buildings by any means. And, so it does make contact with the ground quite often. And one of the first times out here, I was working outside, and it was raining, and I was like, you know what, I have nothing against rain. Rain never bothered me. And like, Florida is the type of place that if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. But rain never bothered me. Long story short, just didn't go inside, and I made contacts with the ground in the neighbor's yard, and my body felt like it was vibrating for the next few days. Like, a long time after. Really, yes. What was I saying? a ton. The lighting is really awkward. Made a ton of earrings, just salvaged pieces and pearls. And the concept I'm working on is you'll be able to slip this part off, and it'll come with a bunch of different charms. And the earrings themselves are based off of ancient artifacts. I really, really like trying to make artifacts. Obviously, ancient jewelry was heavily handmade, and just looking at pictures of global artifacts, especially jewelry, anything decorated, the handwork is just super inspiring, and I get so many ideas from it. I'm working on some fractor now, because sometimes I get it in me that I really want to start journaling, but I just end up doodling. So I figured the German fractor, Pennsylvania Dutch, heavily decorated their objects, incredibly so. And it's some of my favorite folk art. I'll say that about everything, but it's beautiful. If you look up Pennsylvania Dutch or Pennsylvania German folk art and fractor, fractor, I'm not saying a different word, fractor, F-R-A-K-T-U-R, really, really sweet. And it's, like, traditions like that will really keep me stoked to be human, for sure. And, went through a few of these, just literally YouTube embroidery documentaries. And I know some fun things about embroidery, but wow, it's riveting. I'm not just saying that. There's one on English embroidery, and I think the one on now is Irish embroidery. I'm just gonna keep going down the list of all of us beautiful humans and our beautiful embroidery, because it's one of those things that, like, really anybody could do. And I'm not trying to take the stand of embroidery artists or anything, because embroidery is one of my personal favorite arts and mediums and ways to mend clothes. And but it's really accessible, and so you get a lot of different styles. And I already forgot what the banner was called. This BC banner. I guess you would just have to look up oldest surviving pieces of embroidery. Highly worth it. Because it's made by hands, like human hands. And every stitch is so visible, and that's a decision. And yes. Thank y'all for joining me for this tedious but very cathartic craft. As soon as I saw storm-like weather, I went and grabbed it. Stuff like this. One of my favorite books from the library was called Rainy Day Activity. The lighting is horrible. Oh, hello, Vlad the Kabbalah. Yeah, handcrafts, folk art in general. Oh my gosh. And like when I learn of a new group of humans, if you will, or a new culture, the first thing I look up is their art or artifacts, depending on how old or how long ago, and recipes, surviving recipes, of course, because everyone has a potato recipe, and so one of the most accessible ways to travel the world is handcrafts and food, because there's this site called Tandem, well, app, I guess, but it's a language site, and I'm actually on it a lot. I go on the parties, because every other week I decide I'm going to try to learn a language, and I'm trying to at least bounce around to a few of the same languages. it's a really fun app. It's like voice rooms, and everyone is just talking like a conference call, I guess. There's no video or anything, like a Zoom call, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Tandem, Tandem. But you can pick whatever language, and it's genuinely just fun to go in the parties and just talk to people. I kind of give up using the parties for any form of language because it seems like everyone just talks English. Most of the people on it want to practice English that I personally run into, and but which is great, and always fun to be able to, like, I don't know. It's neat being able to learn languages and give fun, like, sayings or bands to check out. Because music and movies are some of the first things that any language, like, any, like, tips on learning a language will tell you to engage in. And, yeah. Man, Snapple got me really self-conscious about saying, No, it wasn't him. It was just, trying to pause instead of saying, and, because, the main reason why I started streaming, is, like, because, humans are social creatures and we need to really, like, have communication spaces for the exchange of ideas and other good things. But my old phone had 0 memory, and so I genuinely couldn't film any more videos because I couldn't save them. And for some reason, and I still like this because I tried not too long ago, YouTube's short editor, when you edit a second shot, it's upside down. In the elderberry video, the second shot is upside down. But I figured it was a close-up of elderflowers, and just kept it. But yeah, phones fall up quick, and I am not the best at making sure things are saved responsibly, so I could find them. So I like. And that's why I always do have a plan for streams based, like, the title. But as soon as I hit live, it'll help out. And I keep meaning to, like, have a clipboard on me with bullet points, if you will. Something I also totally forget to do. And, because, I don't know, this is one of the, true gems of my day, in my opinion, because, like, it's just really cool. We're all at different corners of the world, and, like, to be able to recommend, like, favorite things is just really neat, and, yeah, it's just really cool, honestly. I know social media gets a lot of slack, and, however, it's just all on how you use it. Like a Happy Meal, McDonald's Happy Meal isn't the worst thing unless you eat it every day. Now, like, it's way too expensive, and it just isn't the same. It's just full-blown, like, laboratory. But their spray is still it's still a delicacy. And but, like, last night I got an inkling, like, what could make, like, with what is in the house, like, as a quick snack. And had wonton wrappers that had to be used. And they don't get horribly crispy in the center. I'm sure there's a bunch of things you could do with it. But for something that's readily available and lasts forever in the fridge, and you can wrap anything in it and throw it in an air fryer, just made pretty much like a potato samosa filling. And it was so good. And it was 2 potatoes, that made an insane amount of these things. So I really do want to make some of these, because the groceries here, $10 for a bag of potatoes, and like some things go up and down, like the eggs go up and down. Forgot what it was last time, but I don't know if they could be called recipes, but like you could pretty much mix anything together, and I really miss doing that, and I really miss cooking outside, so I think it's a better time than ever. Like I have, let me grab, we're Florida swamp. Tons of Everglades tomatoes, and these are my favorite. They're smaller. This lighting is just really bad. They're smaller than a cherry tomato, but they're so good. They're really good. And I could always ship a dried tomato, but they're called Everglades tomatoes, and they'll grow pretty much like a perennial here. I haven't personally succeeded in that. They disappear and then they pop back up, but they'll grow in the bushes. But also trying to spread the seeds everywhere. Like yeah. Squeeze them over here. I think this tripod is a little too heavy to carry around casually, but I wanted to show in the cassava, ton of it. I did eat them all already, but see here, oh, there's a bunch more. Here, I'm gonna do this. There's a bunch more. Everglades tomato. And it's in this big old mess of cassava. Ooh, well, we're Oh, yeah. Check it. These are the cassava fruits, if you will, but I'm guessing they're totally toxic. But the structure of them are so neat. They're very rigid. And you can see, and every notch will grow a new plant, and it breaks super easily. It's actually really satisfying. And that'll be a whole nother, so we want to start some in containers, so I'll actually grab these two. And that, oh, you can't see it, is moringa. This is mulberry. From the same tree. Does this zoom out anymore? No. But I gotta get the moringa. This one. It's really tall, but I'm hoping pretty soon I'll produce some seeds and I'll be able to grow more. It's the most nutritious tree. Hello, kids. Little random chaya patch. And, oh yeah. You can see how big the crinums get. Those banana trees. Giant crinum lily. And this is a olive tree. Really nice. Probably won't fruit this far south, but really stoked to eventually figure out electroforming. Cherries. No, I wish. I'm sure there's a ton of cherry like species, like Barbados cherry, but that's not the same. I'm going to, oh God, look at that. So this right here is a strawberry cherry tree, and it's getting, it's filling back up because it gets a little bare, because this one gets a little too much sun, and I had a really dry last few months, but it's filling back up. And they look like cherries. People say they taste like strawberries. They taste like something totally different. They're really sweet, really good. Custardy, really custardy. And the leaves will darken up again, but I think a little too much sun. But yeah, that's Gumbo Limbo, baby. That Snappo was going on about how he was like, needs a Gumbo Limbo. And one just popped up, but it looks like it has some sooty on it. And this is the one that just planted and got new growth on it. And it has been dry again, but it seems to be holding. Ooh, all the. This again is the chocolate sapote from a friend's fruit that he ate. And I finally got a seed. Eats the coolest fruits and vegetables. Travels all over. And I'm dying to get him to put the seeds aside. Wow, it's Jurassic. Cactus. Just from one paddle. I need to start more. And the young ones are edible. And really need to get. I have a hot plate that I could use and a mess kit, so I do want to use that. I usually use the propane. These things come with like a turkey fryer kit, and it's a propane burner. That's all it is. It's like a stovetop outside. Nice elephant ear. It's starting to flower. Or new leaves. Or a dying flower. This is going to be nice to chop up because it makes like the nicest, most instant soil. See. One of the coconut palms is being eaten alive. It's actually quite scary. Keeping oregano. Oh, there it is. And this is another thing that you could just break and grow. And I've grown this inside plenty of times, but granted, I never ran a seed. But no, that's not the case. Chai. This is gonna have a full live stream on KYNTO because during the daytime, it is jam-packed with butterflies. And gonna try some nature streams. Look at that color. It's bumblebee ginger. Really nice. Trying to get some shampoo ginger. Found a few listings on eBay. What's that? I wonder what that is. I haven't pulled this yet because like it was all coming from one. Oh, okay, never mind. It's just something that was pulled. It looks like it was sprouting from something that was under the soil. Like kind of like if a fruit rots in place, there'll be a bunch of the sprouts from it. And then I think this in the turmeric is bitter cress. I think that's what it is. That's what Google Lens was saying, which I'm gonna say that Google Lens is exceeding. Gee, it's just been really good. It's been accurate. And oh yeah, purslane. Finally have purslane again. Apple trees. Wow, nice. One of my biggest dreams in life is to pick an apple from an actual apple tree. I've never seen one in person. We do get like crab apples and stuff like that, but this I grew from one leaf. Not from Home Depot, from a different depot, but this purslane finally popped up. I'm sure it'll pop up in the driveway now. And that's gonna stay a container plant probably. I think it's Royal Pointed Sienna, which is some of my favorite flowers. I can't remember if it's considered. Yeah, look at that. Ginger. Very nice. And this is turmeric. Here. Same this. And I took, because I wasn't going to pull any of these sprouts until I was sure it wasn't something edible, and I'm leaning on leaning on it being bitter crust. And then, if that's the case, it is edible. And don't they look like little green beans? I think those are seeds in it. You can hardly. Oh. So I did pull some of them out and put them in this. It did get rain. I'm trying to get a hoop house, but I haven't really landed on the exact one. There's quite a few listings on Amazon, and then I'll be able to start as many as I could fit in the hoop house. But this is kind of protected by this mulberry, and that's one thing I really love to see. All the different shades of green on all the treetops. Like that light green, that like super green, and the deep green of the Wakisa. I wish, it's like, so spectacular in my opinion in person. I wish it really popped, because it's after rain, and what time is it? It's just everything is so golden right now. Must be golden now, right? But here's that tropical milkweed. It turns out that the migratory butterfly does not fly over this zone, so it'll be fine. And as far as the OE, not entirely sure, but it seems to be kind of but look. Zone 10, inland to Palm Beach County. But not beautiful. Let me zoom in. I love them so much. Chunky. Oh, there's another. Does that look like, or is that water on it? Where did it go? Water on it? Why does he look wrinkly? Oops, sorry. Oh man, they're so cool. Yeah, I'm still looking up information, but my friend who is extremely experienced in butterfly gardens said I had nothing to worry about, and it's just, you know, sometimes you look something up online and it has nothing good, but everything is still growing really nicely in their pots. This, I gotta empty the water out, but the jewels of opar, like I said, just waiting to start more plants, because I want to just make sure that I could care for what is planted, so I don't walk in on any fried plants. The jewels of opar is delicious as always. It's so crunchy. A big leaf to see. Just some dirt from the rain splashed back. It's so crunchy. It's a crisp, like really refreshing. These are acclimating. Full sun. There's no shade that these get, but it's the jasmine, and slowly acclimating, but keeping a very close eye on it. Give it some mulch. The mulch pile is very small right now, and so I've got to really spread it as far as it can go, because it's not an easy thing to find anymore. And one's got insanely large logs. Alright, this was a tree that fell, but Wakisa. Wakisa. Mulberry. It's the first year, so very bitter. But some of them are really sweet, and it's huge. I got this because it was the cheapest mulberry that was okayed for this zone. I don't know much about it, honestly. And it's kind of why I want, like, to assemble a group to learn more efficiently and absorb more information efficiently and get more things grown and done and made and created and all that. So please do feel free to check out KYNTO. I was gonna have it today, but I figured I was just popping on for a second. This is the southern hibiscus. But oh, I do want to check. There's trying to get some vanilla beans growing. I mean, it's growing, but it's an orchid. And yeah, I should probably come and cut those. But vanilla bean orchid. Every day I remember to come and look at it. That one day will produce vanilla beans. I can't believe it. I missed every single time someone was giving cuttings of this. And one day, I think it was the actual guy that every now and then when he trims his plant, he'll give the cuttings to, a local plant group. And finally did have to move one because of the weevil issue. Wow, that's such a pretty leaf. Well, oh my god, I'm really stoked to know that I zoom or use this side of the camera because you could actually see the details and stuff. Probably a lot of flowers on this, but anyway, I forgot what I was even doing. Oh yeah, this is Kumahima. This is another mulberry tree, but this is what had to be transplanted, and it never really bounced back. But the most important part, well, like, it never just, like, erupted in happiness because flowers, mulberry flowers, so hopefully I'll get a seed. Oh, lilacs are one of my favorite. There's this one, I don't know if it will grow here. I'm sure if, like, I don't know, but grape, I think, is it grape hyacinth or grape lilac? It's one of the two, and it looks like grapes. Maybe it's hyacinth. But flowers are something that I really, really want more of because flowers are, they attract so many different, it's incredible. I don't feel, I don't know. It's hard to feel boredom when you could, like, when there is stuff like that that's happening. That's why I swear by flipping a log. And I hear it more and more. And I was like, oh, it's a figure of speech. But yeah, no, literally flip a log. Because there's a ton of stuff under there. This is agave. Someone was throwing out a plant. It ended up being, anyway, I think I've told this. I never know how... Rain puts me right to sleep, but this time it just was very exciting. This was like the most excellent seed starter, but there's these really beautiful worms. Oh, yeah. Flip it. They're really nice. They're like ruby color. And finally got the Cape honeysuckle. That's the one that has the new growth on it, and that's a hummingbird plant. So that's one thing, like, also I really want to see at the end of this year. They usually, if I'm correct, start coming around or start being seen around September or October. And so if I could get a big enough patch, a noticeable enough patch, maybe. Because I have seen them and they're so magical and I could sit there and watch them for hours. Like this worm here. My hands are frozen from the indoors. But anyway, thank you all for stopping by, and thank you about the parlor for existing. Hope y'all have a beautiful day. This is a miracle fruit tree, but it needs help. It needs me to dig it out of the ground and rehab it. It's still got green. I have a plant growing, but that was only a few days ago. I think I planted it, so probably won't see anything for a while. But hope y'all have a perfect day, and I'm still trying to get the craft room together, because I think before resin stuff, I just have a bunch of clothes that I need to upcycle between reverse tie-dye, which is a really fun process. Some of the trippiest prints, like tie-dye, I love tie-dye, but one of my issues with tie-dye is sometimes I just don't do it right, and either the dye lifts or it blends with the other colors when I wash it, and it'll like continue to, but which there's a million ways to get around all that. However, the reverse tie-dye using bleach and water, a mixture. Like, I think it's 1 part water to 2 parts bleach. Anyway, you can mess with that as you see fit, but use colored fabrics, just like a red cotton t-shirt, and it'll lift it, and you never know what the color will lift into. It could look like pinkish or whitish, or like brown or black, turns to a yellowy like rust, and like sometimes navy blue will turn fuchsia or purple. Really, that's one fun part. But the prints themselves, like super detailed, just like 1960s light shows, like that kind of like really fluid, nice print. And you could do so many different things with it, and always comes out cool, and there's no thought behind it. You could wrap it in any which way and it comes out incredible every time. And when you wash all the stuff together, nothing bleeds, it's just bleached. And yeah, so I'm going to prep for that. I got a big bag and a bag of rubber bands ready, and that'll probably be tomorrow, because it's gonna be so nice out here tomorrow. I love day after rain when everything soaks everything. It just received up, and it's really green, like almost like it juices your eyes. That's how green it could get. And I miss that so much, because drought, it's just like, I don't know, hit or I don't know, drought. Happy trails. Anything else? Oh yeah, one more thing. I just wanted to check the potatoes. Look at that. Potatoes from Publix. I know there's a million different reasons not to grow stuff from the store, because of you don't know what, like pests or like different things that could go wrong. Plant stuff, above my understanding. However, I've always grown potatoes like this. All I do is I just put the eyes in a shallow bit of soil, and as they grow, so in the next few days when this one catches up a little bit, I'm going to put more soil and stuff on top. Let me get rid of this. On top, and then they'll keep growing up, and then it'll fill with potatoes rather than just the cluster at the top. And it's just in a bunch of random stuff, some clippings, some of the stuff from here, and yeah, potatoes, beautiful plants. And they're the easiest, because when they die is when you harvest them, and I'll just dump this out, and they don't get too big. Well, from my personal experience with like at this part, they don't get too big, but however, they're so buttery, they're delicious, and they only take 2 seconds to make, to cook, and they're just really buttery and really delicious and really worth it. And I do think the sweet potato rooted. So yeah, got this from Caribbean Plants and Produce, because I can't get any sweet potatoes to root at Publix, and I really like the greens, so I mainly grow it for the greens. And this is a Boniato, I forget how to pronounce it, but another thing growing for the greens. And just to have some more roots, I'm going to be using a lot of these containers that trees came in, so they're nice and big, and then don't have to worry about shell rock. And yeah, I could throw a bunch of different cuttings and stuff like that. Anyway, love y'all. Have a beautiful rest of the day. trying to take a screenshot because I told my mom I would take a screenshot so she could see what the... Empty trails.